Welcome to Series 7 of the Agility for All YouTube channel. In this series, you will get to hear from the entire team as we talk about the components of our new program designed to engage the right stakeholders at the right time to create programs and products that avoid delays, decrease risk, and deliver value. In this 6-part series, we will talk about everything from open spaces to curate ideas, Liftoff to successfully start Agile teams, and training to support your Agile goals. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy this series.
Hello, everyone. This is Andrea, the founder and CEO of Agility for All, and I am all on my own today for this episode 3 of our Series 7. But I promise you that the rest of the team will be back for the final 3 episodes of this series. Today, we are going to talk about how to launch a new initiative program project using something that is well documented in this book, Liftoff. I do not get any kickbacks from this, so if you want to buy it, that's completely up to you. But it is the framework that we follow for starting new programs with our clients. And the way that Liftoff works is it helps you come together on your purpose, alignment, and context for your program or product. And this is really important because without that, you're always going to have people asking questions about what are we doing, why are we doing it, not knowing the direction that they're supposed to be going. So the first thing we do is we bring together the sponsors. Those are the people that are ultimately responsible for making sure that this initiative gets funded and stays funded, and that we are achieving our goals. And we work with them to brainstorm a preliminary vision, mission, and mission tests. And I say preliminary because there may be some adaptation as we go through this with the team. However, the one thing that we can always say as a constant is the vision. The team may have questions, there may be some fine-tuning of the language, but at the end of the day, our sponsor owns the vision. And that is what drives us forward to come up with the rest of our purpose, alignment, and context. So once we have our vision, our mission, and our mission tests, we work with the sponsors to write an invitation to the entire team to come together to work on the full purpose, alignment, and context. And when we bring the team together, it's a minimum of 1 full day, and it's a lot of work, so sometimes you want to break it up into half days. There are goods and bads of both methods. If you bring everybody together for a day, they have nothing else that they're working on for the day. If you bring them together for half days, working on it a little bit each day, they're going to have to go to other things and get distracted. So it's really how your teams work and what is going to be best for them. And we work with our customers to determine that. So when we bring everyone together, it's not just about filling in a worksheet or writing out statements, but it's really about team building. And so when we facilitate a liftoff, we are using all different techniques and skills to make sure that everyone's voice is heard and that we are being inclusive in the way that we work together. So when we go through this, the first thing we do is we go over our product canvas that we did early on to even identify what it is that we're going to build, to remind everyone on why we're here. And then we start going through step by step the vision that the sponsors wrote so that the team can ask clarifying questions. Then we go through the mission and the mission tests, and there may be some additions or changes or clarifications that are asked for by the team to make those definitions more solid and to make sure that the mission tests can be realized, because you want the feedback of the team on whether or not that can be done. And for each of these phases of the purpose, alignment, and context, we have checklists for you to go through and make sure that you are being as open as you need to be, but as specific as you need to be. Once we have the purpose, we move on to alignment. And during alignment, we're really going to focus on our core team. Now, you may be saying, but you invited a team. Yes, but this is where you identify who might be missing and why and what you're going to do about it. But it is also a chance for your team to come together and figure out what makes sense to them and how they want to work. You're also going to work on your values and your simple rules that are going to define who you are as a team. And you're going to work on your work agreements. Now, for those of you that have followed my video series all along, you've heard me talk about this before in building a team and making sure that the team has a purpose and they know who they are and that they learn to work together and they agree on how they're going to work together and how they're going to communicate. This is nothing different. It's just part of a bigger process. Once we have the alignment, we move on to the context. And now we are really digging deep into this to make sure that we are all situated. We're going to look at boundaries and interaction. Who outside the team could impact our ability to deliver our product? How do we need to work with them? Are they even aware that we need to talk to them and they need to talk to us? We're going to look at resources, and people, by the way, are not resources. Resources can be tangible or intangible. So they could be things like time and access, but they also may be things like space and tools. And this is your time to make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful. This is also the time for the sponsor to step up and say what they are already prepared to provide for you. And unfortunately, I have seen situations where the two are at opposite sides and the program has had to be called off because the team isn't going to have the resources that they need to be able to deliver. There is no point moving forward if you do not have what you need. And then the final thing, which I think is actually the most fun, but it's also the most revealing, is the prospective analysis. And we have a whole chart that we do with this. And I find that sometimes it's very difficult for people to stay in the positive and not always be in the negative for the future, but also thinking bigger and imagining bigger than what you think is possible. And that doesn't mean that we're going to all get Disneyland as part of our, achievements in the first 3 months, but look at what could be possible because it might help you drive a bit higher to where you're going. And this is how high-performing teams achieve, by looking not beyond the box that somebody's put around them, but digging much deeper and pushing forward as far as they can. And then we bring it all together and we talk about how this worked for us, what worked, what didn't, a retrospective. And we all agree that this is just where we are right now. It is not where we are always going to be. Work agreements are going to change as we bring new people in. Mission tests are going to be completed and we're going to have to update them with new ones. And that prospective analysis, well, the future keeps moving, doesn't it? So every 3 to 6 months, we want to be looking at that and seeing where else can we go? Where did we get to? And where could we push to? And what could we achieve? And that is what we bring together in a liftoff. And that is how we get to flight with our new programs and products. Next week, we're going to continue this theme and see just how do we keep this trend of high performance going. So thank you for joining me for this very short little session today with just me. Next week, we'll be back at it with some of the other teams and continue the conversation. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you for listening to episode 3 of series 7, where we talked about using Liftoff to start on the right foot with a new initiative in an agile way. Join us next week when we jump into how to develop agile teams. And as always, subscribe to the Agility for All YouTube channel to receive notifications of new episodes, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn at agility_for_all.